Welcome back to another episode of the Virtual GM podcast. Today, we are talking about Airbnb. I think we are ready as Vibrant to make an investment in a property and to put our proven process to work. Let's see what we can do with an Airbnb to make it the best Airbnb you've ever seen and see if this proven process can work in a single home. I can't wait for you guys to listen about it. Please comment in the comment section and let us know, where should this Airbnb be? What's the next up and coming market? Can't wait to get your feedback. Thank you so much. Be sure to like and subscribe. And most importantly, enjoy the episode.
All right. Welcome back to the Virtual GM podcast. You have us on season 2, episode 12.
Ayo, can you believe we've done 12 episodes already?
No. And by the way, we are doing this in segments, right? So same clothes.
You're not supposed to say that. Don't pull back the curtain.
Okay. Well, it's fine. Let them see behind the curtain. It's good. So as we always do, start it off with a segue. I'll go first.
Yeah, you will.
So personal, it's about a future event, which is really exciting. We are headed to a lake house next week.
Ew.
And funny story,
It is such a funny story.
I happened to just like send heart eye emoji.
She did
Instagram.
a story of her like back patio, which is like,
just looks like the most
it's
incredible
like
place
God
in the
painted
world.
it. It's unbelievable.
And she sent me a message and she was like, hey, you and Cody and the kids are welcome to come anytime. I was like, wait, really?
Because sometimes people say that stuff, but it's
I know I do that. Sometimes I will offer things and then I instantly regret it. So I was like, wait, are you sure? She's like, no, seriously, whenever you want to come. It's like, she's like, all you have to do is book flights. And I told Cody, I didn't think you'd go for it. And when I brought it up to you, you're like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, okay, are you actually sure? Like, it would be okay. Like, we kind of know each other, but we don't really
We've hung
know
out
each
that
other.
one time a year ago.
Yeah.
I was telling Eli that today.
So long story short, I was like, okay, we're booking flights. So here we go.
You just can't pass up an opportunity to stay at a house like that. It is like...
and I've never been to Idaho.
It is shockingly, stunningly beautiful. I mean, truly amazing.
We've only seen the porch and the lake, but it looks...
That's all I need to see.
Yeah, incredible. So that's very exciting. And then business, showing up today. It's summer, I had to find a babysitter.
Yeah, and you did it.
I did it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so my personal best is I have recently picked up pickleball. What do you think? 2 months into pickleball?
I think you're like 3 months
3
now.
months into pickleball.
Yeah.
And so obviously terrible and have been getting progressively better. But the people I play with, I'm usually the worst person, so my team loses more than I win.
Learns more than you win.
Loses.
But you're learning from losing.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because I love to win. I'm very competitive. But also consciously, I know by playing with people who are so much better than me, it's making me better, right? So I can stomach the losses now to improve my skill set. And it's fun to play a sport at this age and be able to be better, like to go out every time and be better at something versus like basketball where every time I get worse as I get older, or I hurt myself. And so it's just been amazing to find this sport. And like last night we played, and we played in Little Valley, which doesn't mean anything to people who aren't from here, but you could see the sunset and like the mountains and like
beautiful.
It was just like, what a beautiful place we live.
And the weather was super nice because the storm rolled in, cooled
it was
down.
like just blessed, and playing with friends of mine I went to high school with 20 years ago.
That's crazy.
And it just like brings you back to that like childish state of like playing. It's just a great time. And I was fucking awesome last night. I mean, I was so good. I was hitting all these shots and it's just like for the first time I felt in control of the game. Like I was controlling it versus the game controlling me. And so that felt awesome. And then for our business best, we are just a little bit over the halfway point of the year, basically. And I look back at our projections and what we're projecting forward, and we are like right in line. And what's so funny about business is the numbers are in line, but the way it's happened is completely not unexpected.
That's
like
pretty crazy.
There's people I thought we'd for sure still be working with that we are no longer working with. There's new marketing clients that I never thought we would have that we do have, or you couldn't have even projected having. And so it hasn't been the way that I wrote it up, but we're still at the same place. And in fact, I was in such a level of like disbelief of like, how does business work like this? I went back and looked at all of our invoices from 2023 at that same time. And it was crazy to see the people we're working with in August of 2023 we're not working with now. And in business, for the entrepreneurs who are listening to this, when you lose a client or an opportunity, there's a sense of like, oh, how am I going to replace that? But you just do. You know, like,
you have that sense all the time. I have to remind you, it'll be okay.
yeah.
One door closes, another one opens.
And so it was so good for me to go back and look at it and be like, wow, like all of these clients have now been replaced in some other capacity, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just the cyclical nature of business. But if you're in that moment of doubt, like just be strong, be positive, and you're going to pull out on the other side. So that was really good to see that. So the year is progressing right on track.
Which is great.
And speaking of that, that puts us in a position where Meagan and I are ready to make the next investment, because we've obviously invested very fully into Vibrant, and we're on the tail end of completing that investment. So now we've got this exciting opportunity where we took that major risk in the buyout, and we were able to turn that into a real net positive. So now we've got that like belief and spirit to say like, well, what's the next thing? And so as we were talking, it's like, I think Vibrant does Airbnb, you know?
We do, we're going to.
I think it's time. We, all of our properties are on Airbnb for the most part, and Megan's gotten really good at managing that and learning all the ins and outs of it. But we've got a property that we manage. I won't say where to not put it out there, but they'll do between $30,000 and $40,000 a month in revenue for one home.
And obviously it's seasonal, right?
Of course. Yeah. They're not doing that in the winter.
Yeah.
But they're doing it in the peak season.
They are.
You know, and even in the winter, they're always covering their mortgage.
Oh, for sure.
Well, undoubtedly, right?
Yeah.
And so we were talking about it. And it's like, what's the next thing that we could do? And I don't want to get outside of our lane, because our niche, stick to your niches and get riches, right? And I know that we are comfortable and we understand it. And Megan has executed Airbnb in such an amazing way. And it's like, what a cool experiment to put all of our knowledge and practice for us, right? Because even though it's a house, we would do WebRez. We would offer direct bookings. We would build a website. If you listen to last episode, we'd embed the Google Maps into the website.
Yes, we would.
We would use Akia.
Well, not necessarily.
Why?
Well, you don't need Akia if you're doing on Airbnb. You just communicate through Airbnb.
But what if a guest books direct?
Oh, okay. Sure. Yes.
Because I would want
You're
direct
right.
bookings.
You're right. Okay.
So we would use Akia. We would use the links locks. We would use all of the tools, right? Like we would truly put it in the proven process. Of course, we'd run it on virtual GM, and really just make an unbelievable experience. Drive home the TripAdvisor reviews and ratings. And what really got us thinking was, if you can see us, we've got Pink Wall Designs website up, and so they were episode 8. So they were 4 episodes ago. And they are this awesome team that makes Airbnbs amazing. So like, if you can see right now, this is a house they did in Oklahoma. They talked about it on their episode. This is the karaoke room. And just look how vibey and cool that is,
so
you know, like, and that's just for you and your friends. You can see like they've got NBA Jam in the next room. Yeah. And then you want to hit that arrow for me, Mal, and kind of scroll through these. And then this obviously just a beautiful, vibrant living room. And then they've got this awesome glam room. And one house they did a tree house room for the kids. And so they're just doing something that makes it really unique and cool. And so it's like, what's so amazing about this space, and I have my doubts about Airbnb globally. Like, I think the people who are just taking a regular house and just listing it, like I don't,
a room,
or a room, or even just a regular, just normal house. I don't know about the longevity of that, because I think as we pull further out of COVID, people are going more into back to hotels, and they want their rooms cleaned, and they want that level of service, and they want the food and beverage, and they want the amenities. But certainly if you can do something like this, like what Pink Wall Designs have done, and you have a karaoke room and a glam room and this amazing space for kids, that market I still think is very healthy. And so Megan and I have been talking and thinking even about, where should you do it?
That's the $1 million question.
Right. Because so we've got this awesome property we work with in upper state New York called Vanderkamp, and it is the most incredible cabins on like 943 acres in upstate New York. And it's amazing, and everyone should be going there, but they don't get everyone going there because Vanderkamp, that area, doesn't have its own drive. So you've got to be driven to stay there versus driven for the area, where so many of our properties are like, oh, I'm going to Zion, I need a place to stay, or I'm going to Eugene, I'm going to when Oregon is playing Ohio State in football, rooms are $500 a night.
Right.
Or I'm going to Gainesville, or I'm going to Rehoboth Beach, like people have a destination, and that's driving these hotels' success. And so you want to have something that's going to be the leading indicator of why they want to go, but you're the reason why they stay. And so where is that?
Well, somewhere where we want to go.
Right.
A.
Which I thought Scottsdale because it's a 45-minute flight from St. George, and it has it has the waste management, it's got professional sporting teams, it has big events, but it's just the desert.
Mm-hmm.
We already live in the desert.
Right. So like Florida, probably.
Florida would be amazing.
Yeah.
But you are 5 hours away.
So
But does that really matter though?
Not really. If you get somebody that you can trust to take care of those things.
I mean, like we've got a
on
client
property.
who lives in San Diego and has a property here.
True.
It doesn't really matter because
Right.
if something happened, we would be there.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think where do we want our next house to be?
Yeah.
Ultimately, we want to be able to use it.
Which is
right?
part of the benefits of the Airbnb, right?
Yes.
Because if you want to have a beach house or a mountain house or a lake house.
Right. That you rent out majority of the time, but you get a couple weeks during
And
the
for
year.
me, I would want to have like a room that was like locked, and then that's like where you
Yeah.
keep your stuff. So
Yeah.
when you get there, you're not having to like
True.
bring all this stuff. You
Yeah,
know what I
that's
mean?
true.
So how to execute that in the right way. But I just don't know, could you find the place? And so I thought about Boulder because
Okay.
Boulder, Colorado is beautiful. It's different. It's in the mountains. It's
See you.
stunning. Yep. Colorado University is there. Deion Sanders is bringing, game day was there like every day last year. That's thousands and thousands
That's
of people.
crazy.
Big money. ESPN staying there. Fox News
Yeah.
or Fox Sports is staying there. Such a draw, but it's also beautiful and has its seasonality. So it's
Yeah.
like that could be, and we can go from here to Denver to Boulder.
Oh, that's nice.
We did that, remember?
We went to Boulder.
Yeah, when we stayed at the Broadmoor,
Uh-huh.
that was Boulder, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
Where was that? That's Colorado Springs.
Yeah, that's exactly where we stayed.
Oh. Well, I bet Boulder has an airport.
Yeah. I think you drive to Boulder.
No, I bet it has an airport. But that could be an option. Obviously, I'm very excited to go to this lake up in Idaho.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks just outrageously beautiful,
It's
but
like,
what
where
does
can
that
you get
cost?
affordable? Yeah.
Yeah.
I want
I
an
need
affordable
someone to think it's not
Airbnb.
cool yet so I can buy it, but thinks it's really cool in the future. But my dad found that house in Wilmington. Wilmington is this awesome beach town in North Carolina, and that had a private walkway to the beach.
Oh, wow.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We got to buy an RV and we just got to travel
I
around
don't want to do that.
and we're just going to find the perfect location. We're going to find many perfect locations along the way.
I mean, ideally, the best case scenario would be a mountain home, mountain,
Yeah.
Colorado, really,
Yeah.
and then and then Florida.
Yeah.
That's all you really need.
Yeah.
You have a desert house.
It's true.
So what would you do? Like if we were to get an Airbnb, what would you go after? What would you have in mind with your design?
Ooh, with the design?
Yeah. Like these. Like what would be your draw? What would you do to make it like, oh, this is amazing. I got to go stay at this house.
Well, for me, I'd probably design it around how I love,
Uh-huh.
right? Like I'd want, like, yes, this is very cool and very beautiful, but like a homey feel, like a very warm vibe, like where you walk in and it feels like you're at home,
Yeah.
or in a like really beautiful home. And like, having some cool features like games for the kids and a place for the adults, like a bar, but a space big enough for a family, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
no
'cause
less
I
than
think-
4 bedrooms, I don't think.
Oh yeah, because I'm thinking you want one of those bunk rooms
Yeah.
that's like got the games and the TVs and like a cool place for the kids to be entertained, and you want that cool space like the karaoke room
Yeah.
that does have like a pool table or shuffleboard or something where it's like kind of like we talked about on episode 10 with the waterfront where everything you needed was there.
Yeah.
It's like I'd like you to arrive at the house, and if you didn't want to leave, you don't necessarily have
Totally.
to.
Having all the amenities.
having a movie
groceries.
theater.
Oh, yes.
Because
Yeah.
we stayed at that one Airbnb in Salt Lake that had that movie theater in it, and that was
Yes,
so cool.
very cool.
Like that was such an
Yeah.
amazing. And when someone sees that, you're like, oh, I want to stay there.
Right. And I would like it more like a home, right? Because people build Airbnbs and they want retreats to come there. And so you have 5 bedrooms that sleep 12 people each,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
And as an adult, like I don't want to share a room with other people. you know?
Yeah, I would probably want to have like 2 master suites,
Yeah.
right? That are equally nice masters.
Yes.
So that way, if like you're traveling with friends, you guys each have that, and then there's like an awesome shared space for the
Yeah.
kids.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that would be at like minimum. I would want that space. But you're right. I think you do. I mean, there's components of when, like for me and my friend group that travel for fantasy football stuff, like we've gotten Airbnbs that
Yeah,
have
and
bunk
you're-
beds that sleep a bunch of
I
people.
know.
But it's like, it's not ideal, but it's also better than Nothing. Like that one room at Molly's Nipple, the house we stayed in.
Yeah, I know.
It had
like 2 sets of bunk beds, right?
I think it had 3 sets of bunk beds, all queens that were 3 stacked.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I mean, you could have had 2, 4, 6, 12, 18 people in that room. Could have.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's too much. And I also want to make it for families because I think that generally speaking, they're going to be more respectable. But you had hit another thing. I think what you do to set yourself apart is amenity driven, right?
Yes.
You find out I watched some clip about this. It's a guy in Scottsdale. His whole business is preparing people to arrive in Scottsdale. So he gets their orders and they provide
That's cool.
their sodas and their liquors and their snacks, and like they find out what they want, but then they set it up all nice. It's like it's all
nice.
and you open the fridge and it's like boom, it's all ready to go. And finding someone that offers a service like that. So like when we went to Mexico that time and had the house.
Showing up and having your fridge stocked and you don't have to do anything.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah, best service ever.
So I think I'd really lead on service, you know, and also like Megan and I love Below Deck. If you're not a fan, become one. Go get your stream on. But how they always have like those, I'd like someone to perform this or to sing this or to do that. Like finding people in the community who offer experiences.
Networking.
So if they wanted to have like, or even someone who puts on an amazing, like brings an incredible s'mores kit out and sets the fire up for you and puts the fire out when you're done. So you don't have to be burdened with that. You know, you just get to show up.
Yeah.
Marshmallows are on, chocolate's broken out, graham crackers are ready to go.
Yeah, I love that.
Like really allow them to have a hotel type experience while being at a house.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I think stocking the house too, like how you'd want it. Because we have been to Airbnbs where they don't even have kitchen towels.
Yeah.
Which is ludicrous.
Yeah.
Like, please provide kitchen towels.
Yeah. Give them all the stuff
But they also
need.
have like fans and sleep machines, but no kitchen towels.
Oh, that was nice. That one in Salt Lake had like sound machines and
I want to go
the
from my
tower
home.
fan and all of the stuff that you, and like even an ozone thing.
Yeah. I don't have to bring anything.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
I like that.
You know, but, and even like in the kitchen, right? Like stocking it with all your kitchen supplies. So they just get to show up.
Absolutely.
I mean, it makes your experience and your stay so much better.
Unbelievably better.
Yeah.
So we will keep you posted. Vibrant's going to do be an Airbnb.
Hey, and if you can think of somewhere where you're like, hey, this is the next spot.
That's what I was going to
let
say.
us know.
If you're watching this on YouTube, please put in the show notes if you're like, this is the spot, this is the town, or if you're a realtor in that town and you're like, I have a house, like put it in there.
Yeah.
Let us know. Also put in there in the notes, what are the best experiences you've had at Airbnbs? What are the bad experiences you've had? What are the things that you would want? Because Megan and I's perspective is only 2 people. So I would love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. Tell us. Let us know. If you're a real estate agent, send us some listings.
We're also willing to do some work, some construction. We can flip a house.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
No matter what we do, it's going to be...
Yeah.
We're going to be putting work in
for sure
to make it what we want it to be. Well, that's exciting to talk about. I can't wait to get started. Thank you so much for listening. And like I said, please send us some comments. Let us know what we could do to make the best Airbnb you've ever seen. And maybe it'll be a whole new business model.
Hey, I like it.
Who knows? I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know.
I mean, put it out in the universe. We talked about that. That's how the episode started, right? That was this episode about the horse.
No, that was the last episode.
Okay, go listen to episode 11 because we had some good stuff. Okay, thank you so much for listening. We will see you again in a week. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you for watching and subscribing.